Off from the start and they're away. And Canas leads from Ongaro and Coelho. 1, 2 and 3. SWORKz from Associated from Infinity. Up to the top of the track, the three of them. The rest is kind of scrappage below. I think a couple of cars fell off. I think it may have been Ricky, so that's probably just him rolling on his own. Let's have a look as they come across, and it's all bing, 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 bing. But no, Ben Mohamed's made up. It's actually Mattia Polito had the big loss in that first one. Goes down to, so he's the big loser into 12th, which puts Ben Mohamed into 4th. But Canas leads it. Ongaro in the yellow in 2nd. Bruno in the orange in 3rd. As they carry on moving. And it's probably likely, though. Canas puts a little bit of a spurt on, 24.6. Ongaro actually, though, already has closed that gap, which seemed to be forming back up again. And the three of them, the big three, I suppose you'd have to say, in many ways, certainly of 8th racing, in some ways, you know, we've even got Olowski in here. We've got kind of in this final, we've got just about all of the top multi-disciplined European champions. You've got the double reigning European champion in Nitro, leading the 3-time reigning world champion in Nitro and the current champion in electric. But interestingly, Canas has made a little bit of a break, and it's now Ongaro. Oh, Mohamed was very circumspect there about going past Coelho. Coelho gave him a little bit of a gap, but it was absolutely not going for Ronnefalk during the party. So Ronnefalk in 5th joining the party as well. But Canas has got away by about a second. Ongaro's trying to sort that problem out right now and reduce it. And the lead will have gone down slightly. It's gone down to 0.7 as they go underneath us now. There's Ronnefalk in 5th. The Swede on the X-ray, looking to get near. No, Ben Mohamed's rolled out, so there goes Ronnefalk into 4th. Okay, Mohamed, the only Sparko in town. And Coelho now thinking about having a go at Ongaro. 2.5 minutes down. This is very much like a high-speed game of chess, isn't it? Everyone's just kind of thinking and stabbing and making their opening moves. There's a pawn to knight's bishop, and there's not a. Oh, Coelho's rolled out. Right, so we're now down to 2, and then there were 2 as Coelho rolled out. We've had Ben Mohamed roll out, and it's now Canas against Ongaro. How many times have I said that? How many times have I said Canas against Ongaro, Ongaro against Canas? It just happened. It just seems to happen every time, and a mistake there, kind of like a stumbling move by Canas as he came onto the start-finish straight, gives Ongaro some hope. But the problem is that now, back on the line again, Canas can just stop anything from happening. He can just stop it. Ongaro can think about it, but a clean move, which is going to be acceptable to Mark Stitzen, is going to be virtually impossible. You can see how narrow the line they can run on is just really the centre of that the black bit, really, not even the light coloured bit. Either side, it's dust and no grip. So the track is not as just grooved up into this narrow racing line. You know, Ongaro can hang on the back of Canas all day, but how's he going to get past? Looking a bit now. Oh, and he's not going to get past if he's off his. So he was trying then. He went a little bit left, and in doing that, he was on a bit of track that didn't work. So the SWORKz Canas now has some breathing space, even though the accident wasn't, the lead wasn't more than a second. He was. Well, it was lucky. Well, I say lucky. It was unlucky to go, but lucky that he rolled into the arms of a marshal. The marshal actually at marshal corner. It meant that Bruno now can start to ease up again. I don't think Canas is at 100%. I'll be honest with you. I don't mean health-wise. I mean speed-wise. I think he's absolutely realised all he has to do is stay on line. He's not really trying to push the lead, though. He did gain a couple of tenths that time round. It's Coelho from Ronnefalk. Burak Kilic coming through. Clement Boda. Elliot Boots up to 7th. Olowski stayed where he started. Polito's trying to come back from a bad opening lap, but it is now. Has Canas just put it a bit further? No, I don't think he has. The lead was 1.1. I don't think it's going to it may have gone up slightly actually. Yeah, another 310. So actually what has happened is I won't say afterburners, but the engine's been throttled up slightly for Canas now. Ongaro's right behind him until that slight problem at the basically at the marshal's hairpin, and actually now Canas has decided he's had enough of this and he's going to go forward. Let's move. We go for 2nd and 3rd. because Coelho now has made up his rollout, and he's now started to have a serious think about having a go at Ongaro. Half the race down, half the race to go. Ongaro, obviously in his I don't know, 10th, 11th, 12th season with Associated, whereas Coelho, who had a entire career, professional career with XRAY up until last November, is in his first few months with the new Infinity brand. So that different. And again, that's the sort of thing that's so close. Perhaps a different track, you could have just made the third part of that overtake. Not happening here. Coelho does have the fastest lap of the day, 24.1, and now this is effectively the best thing that could ever happen to Canas, which is Ongaro and Coelho having a battle. Ronnefalk's been dropped off the back of this. Ben Mohamed came back from his role in 5th, and usefully for Ongaro, Bruno didn't have a particularly good last 20 metres of the track and lost about a third of a second, but in that last lap, because there was a potential of fighting, they've dropped back a little bit, but still only 1 bit seconds. It's within range. It's 4 minutes to go. There's quite a lot in these 10-minute races. There's quite a lot of ebb and flow. There's enough time to have a little bit of a problem, but realistically, from being on the tail of Canas, which Ongaro was coming up to that problem 3 or 4 minutes ago, he's not really able to get back up again. Canas, with a little bit of sneaky speed, is able to just push it. There's the Ongaro Associated. Don't forget, this is the man who is the current European champion in this class, won at Montpellier last year. And thank you to Montpellier for the very nice cheese and wine and meats we had when we were there. But you can forget your charcuterie board, because at the moment Juan Carlos Canas is just showing a clean pair of heels. Lead out at 1.6. Oh, and a bad landing there, and that's going to take another 3 or 4 tenths. So with 3 minutes to go, it's looking particularly good again for a leg win. This is not a surprise, because if Canas doesn't make a mistake, and I don't think he's made a mistake, he's made like a half pico mistake in this entire 7 minutes we've run so far, it is very difficult to get past. And when Ongaro got really close, he had to go on a slightly different line to try and see if he could do something, and so the car was upside down and rolling. And Coelho's there as well. All 3 of them, I think if all 3 of them started in the lead, had the pole, I think they could do this. But Canas is a master. Though actually, he's just been tagged back. Must have been a slight problem didn't see last time round. Yeah, he dropped a second somewhere. Probably just go a little bit wide and you get on the loose stuff, and suddenly you lose the drive. Now, mere mortals like you or I would, with the idea of having Ongaro on our tail, would just fall to pieces. I don't think that's going to happen with Canas. He's been in this situation and the reverse situation 20 or 30 times. You see that Ongaro thought about it and actually had to drop out of the jump earlier than he would normally do to avoid landing on Canas. Bruno could be the winner out this one if something does go wrong. 1 minute 54 to go. But Ongaro really pushing now. Really trying to, they're both gone. And I think I am Mystic Nick there, because I do believe the winner of all that, and Ongaro is waiting. Ongaro is waiting for Canas. But what's happened is, because of that, it is going to be Bruno. Bruno is going to pick up the victory because of the move by Ongaro. I can't really tell whether that was a good or bad move. We'll look at it again at the end of the race. But Coelho now leading. Ongaro is ahead of Canas, and he waited for him. So since there's been another issue, Ongaro's gone past Canas. That's obviously fine. Stitson's obviously... Oh no, he's given a drive-through penalty to Ongaro. Ongaro has a drive-through penalty. So Ongaro has been given a drive-through. This is going to be a bit of beef, isn't it? Ongaro has a drive-through penalty. Canas obviously is not very happy with him. Coelho is leading by 4 seconds. We've got a minute to go. So this is going to be... Canas is going to be in second. I think Ronnefalk's going to pick up third when... let's stay with Ongaro for his drive-through, which he should do now. No, he's arguing the thing about it. I'm sure I heard Stitson say drive-through penalty car too. Yeah, I did. So... looks like there's going to be a bit of conversation going on. But Bruno and the Infinity, and we will go back to him for the last lap, but there's a lap and a half to go before we have to go back to Bruno. No, you can stay on the second and third. Stay on second and third for a while, Kieran, because they've actually got 2 laps to go, so it's fine. So we'll be with them for at least the next lap. Now, I thought I heard him say stop a drive-through penalty for car 2. Ongaro's not taken the drive-through penalty. I don't know why that is. It's not been repeated up on the board on the rostrum either, so please ignore my statement. I may be wrong, but it'll wash out in the come out in the wash as they start the last lap, not taking it. Okay, let's go move forward to Coelho, who's going to be the winner. I feel like I am the most predictive man in the world. I said that he'd be the winner if there's an incident between the other two, and there was an incident between the other two, and Coelho now is going to take the prototype Infinity to its first European A final leg win. He's not won the A final, but he's won the first leg. And Coelho, who said you don't always slow, he took that with everything. And Bruno Coelho takes the win. Oh, it's Ben Mohamed in second. There's been some sort of time penalty. Ongaro's bit of a time penalty.
That's how you get past. You wait for that to happen. What did you see from your point of view?
Yeah, I mean, I hope it was that easy all the time. But yeah, I was a bit lucky. They crashed together. I don't know what happened between their two. But yeah, I mean, it's, as I said previous to the race, these off-road races are really very, very tough for us. The conditions out there are very, very hard. The cars are sliding all the time. And from previous Euros, it has happened all the time like this. Even people starting from 8th position is finishing first. Canas have won 2 years ago starting from 8th position. So I know that the starting position is not a big thing. Of course, it helps you. But yeah, everything can happen. And they were fighting together. They crashed, and I got the benefit from that.
You were able to push, though. It's not like you didn't have the pace. What are you going to do for the next one? I mean, what can you hope for?
Yeah, I mean, I was behind Ongaro and I was catching him a little bit. Sometimes I made like a small bubble, which you lose a little bit of confidence. But I was like catching him up again, which means the pace is there. So I was not only lucky, I was of course also at the pace to be there. And you know, for you to have lucky, you need to be there. So,
well done. Best of luck for the next one.
Thank you.
They're off, and it's clean through the first 7 or 8, and they're already flying to first corner. Bruno's stayed in third, and everyone's gone round pretty easily. Pretty sure it's Ricky in 13th, and the top 3. But interestingly, Canas already has put a minor push away. He's obviously decided not to have a break-in lap, just go for it. But then the second half of the corner here, suddenly Ongaro got closer again. So they've gone round in pretty much. They've gone round in race order. Oh no, Ricardo Burton ruined it by going past Figueiredo, but the rest of them went round the first lap in order. So 1, 2 and 3 have broken away again. It's Canas, Ongaro and Coelho. Coelho is only 9 minutes and 19 seconds for the European Championship. However, of course, that's only because he's the only one who can win it on the second leg, and he's getting quite close to Ongaro. Ongaro, been thinking, massive tank slapper there for Canas. He came and he braked, and it's like you sometimes get when you've got too much rear brake, and then the rear tries to overtake the front, and that's put the 3 of them together. 4th place by Mattia Polito, but the top 3 giving us a show. All of them, actually they're all European champions, but not Nitro, because obviously Nitro European champions has never been won by Davide, but they are all European champions in some form of 1/8 off-road car. We have the reigning electric champion in David. I think Canas has won the electric off-road before. Bruno hasn't. So, that was a slow corner there, and suddenly there's a little break for Canas. Canas has a little bit of breathing room. Ongaro just made a quarter-second mistake, and now he's up the inside. Bruno would normally think about it, the brake heavily, and the turn round. This is the manna from heaven, these two fighting for Juan Carlos Canas. He can get away. But, of course, we have 8 minutes to go. This is not a 5-minute race of a 1/10 car. It's 10 minutes. And so much more can happen. Ronnefalk's got himself into 5th. Oh, and Canas has rolled over. Canas has rolled off the track. I missed that one. It's only a car going off. So into the lead goes Ongaro. Canas made a mistake coming out of the same place where he was punted off earlier. And Canas has dropped down, I think, to 5th. So this is not typical Canas. Obviously, it wasn't his fault. He ended up in the boondocks after Heat 1. So Ongaro now is leading with with Bruno behind him. So Bruno now, I think the word scenting blood and yes, I could win this one might be a little bit high in Bruno's opinion, but he's got to get past Ongaro. The dust is being brought up now. So Ongaro leads from Coelho, 7 minutes 15 seconds to go. Canas in 5th, behind Ronnefalk and behind Polito, and getting past them is not going to be easy. Ongaro now needs to try and channel what he had at Montpellier last year when he won the European Championships. He won it quite easily from the front. This time, you've had a couple of weird things happen. I've never seen Canas do that, I'll be honest with you. And he just rolled out. Didn't quite get. We hadn't really got it on shot, so I couldn't really get a replay of it. But you can scroll back for the live pictures. It's not anything more than a mistake. No one else was involved, and he was actually pulling away at the time. Right. Last time round, Ongaro was a bit further ahead in this. Is Bruno going to bring a European Championship to his new manufacturer at the first attempt? That's a question. Is he going to do it? What is he going to be 1 for 1? Is the question. He very nearly won an ETS first time round. I think in the end he was a little bit short compared to Orlowski last week. But Orlowski last week. Now actually he's just dropped a little bit there. That's going to really kind of give a little bit of life to Ongaro. Now what Ongaro really hopes, obviously, is Polito gives him a favour and just backs off. Now interesting, Canas has got past Ronnefalk into 4th and is 2.5 seconds behind this particular battle. But it's Ongaro leading and settled in. And I'd like to point out this is a triple world champion. It's actually a quadruple world champion. He's a triple world champion in this, in the Nitro version of this championship. He is the current European champion, and I think he's got a rhythm going. Just a guess. He's got Polito holding up Canas. Well, I say holding up, going at the same speed as Canas. But look at this. This is just poetry in motion. The associated chassis. The Hobby-Wing electronics for Davide Ongaro. You can see that Bruno, though, gained about 3 or 4 tenths there. Bruno's in an interesting situation here, because if he finishes second, he can't finish worse than second in the European Championships. So does he push? What's he do? And interestingly, if he finishes second, then it could all be quite interesting, because if JCC won the final leg, it would be down on countdown. Countdown? That's a quiz show. Countback. Yeah, if Jason, they all have to do a numbers game. Anyway, so lead is now down to 9 tenths. Canas is 2.7. He's not gaining. Canas and Polito have just come together. I think Canas got past him. He did. So Canas has got past Polito into 3rd. You can see there's 4 cars running down there. Polito, behind them is Ronnefalk. This is Canas, but he's got to make up 2.8 seconds. We'll go back to the leaders, please, and we'll just watch the gaps when it comes to Canas catching up. So he was 3.6 behind after the overtake, and I don't think in 4 minutes he can make that. And it's interesting that I really think that the afterburn's been put on now by Ongaro. He's just gained another bit. It's probably about 1.5 seconds ahead now. 1.6. Canas 3.3, so he gained 4 tenths and did the fastest lap of the race so far, 24.1. Canas is absolutely burning it. He's got no one to blame but himself for his position, though, in this particular race. Gained 4 tenths, but he has a double issue. Even if he is quicker, there is an issue he has. He's got to get past Coelho. And Coelho, in his favour, hasn't really made any major mistakes. I think a couple of times he's been offline. That cost you a few tenths. What's happened there? Is that Canas issue off again? Yep, Canas made a second mistake in the similar place, and Canas is out of this one. So Canas off camera has made a second mistake, dropped to 6th. He was absolutely pushing, and I think this track is a track where you can run at 95% every day for a month for every lap. But once you go near 100, bites you hard. And we see that again and again. Right, 3 minutes and a third to go. So we're a third of the way left. Coelho now coming back towards Ongaro, as Coelho's put in the fastest lap of the entire race, the 24.11. Coelho suddenly, he's found a bit of pace. So Coelho now is going to try and pressure Ongaro. Will Ongaro break? My guess is no, but can Coelho get past him? Will Coelho, now that he's got this big gap, it's Ronnefalk in 3rd now, is it a chance, Matt, to just throw it? Because the worst case scenario, you lose 2 seconds, you're still second. Best case scenario, you get past. So behind these two, there's been all sorts of kind of comings and goings. It's not really shenanigans, it's just been people making mistakes. So Coelho through the final the hairpin for the marshals, and they're much closer this time. It's 0.7 last time. It's about 0.3, 0.4 this time. It's 0.39. How close could I be? Right. Coelho now looking to hunt for a European Championship. He's won quite a lot. He hasn't won one in 1/8. There'll be another class championship he'd get, which would probably give him all the class championships that he's ever entered into. He has done one. He's got a 1/10th IC European Championship. He's got a Nitro Championship. He's got a four-wheel drive off-road championship. He's got many 10th championships. So probably become the person with the most different European Championship, I would think. Doesn't really matter because it's not happening because Ongaro said no, thank you very much. I'm going to extend my lead again. And he's now 0.6 of a second ahead. Just want to point out that if Coelho comes second, Canas cannot win the championship. So that's a really important point. If Coelho comes second, it'll just be a straight fight in leg 3 between Ongaro and Bruno, because it would mean that Canas cannot win. He's down in 10th. Canas have an absolute nightmare after this, but Canas cannot win the European Championship as it stands if Coelho finishes second. And it does look at the moment that Ongaro has just found the last win with a minute and a half to go, but we will be down to a 2-car race of which Canas will not be involved in leg 3 after a bad run in this one and only a 3rd place in the first one. It's all coming down to the last minute and 13 as those micro errors has cost 2 or 3 tenths to Ongaro, and we get close again and he gets us excited again. We think we're going to see a move. But does Coelho even want to move is the question. Is he happy with second for this point and then have a freedom of expression for the 3rd final? And it's going to be on count back and timing and everything else. We're going to need to know who's got the fastest one, because there's every chance that if they have a 1st and a 2nd each. So the time count back is going to be important. Coelho getting closer. 41 seconds to go. It's going to be this one. I'm going to say one more. Though it might be 2 more, actually. They go across the line with more than 25 seconds to go. Yep, I think it's going to be 2 more. Let's just look at the time in the top corner. 29. Yeah, 2 more. 2 more laps in leg 2 of the A final of the EFRA 1/8 E Buggy. Is it Ongaro? Is it Coelho? Coelho's as close as he's been as he got to the top of the hill toward the El Ceram corner, putting the ultimate level of pressure on Ongaro. Looks to the left, looks to the right. He's got nothing to lose now. Will he push it? Coming up closer. They come to the end of the lap. 1 lap to go. Ongaro just clipped the pipe and lost a bit of momentum. Oh, we were too wide from Ongaro. They both make small mistakes, but it's looking good for Ongaro. Oh, where's Bruno disappeared to off the back of the thing? Bruno's gone a bit too wide, and that's going to give the win in this last lap. Bruno, be careful because he's got Ronnefalk behind him. He doesn't want to lose second. Second's a key point for him here. He has to keep second place. Ongaro comes through, and Ongaro will take leg number 2. Coelho comes through in second. Ronnefalk is third. The news is we will not see Canas as European champion. It is not possible for Canas to win the championship now. Bruno is there or thereabouts. Ongaro's won it. We have a 2-horse race for the European Championship, which will be in about 2 hours' time.
Utterly thrilling racing. Was it pretty tough?
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning I was a bit nervous because, in the first leg, me and Juan Carlos, I didn't make it on purpose for sure because I was inside and his car was on 2-wheel, so I tried to brake, but it was too late. So I waited him, but he finished 3rd in the first one, I finished 11, so for me it was a bit tough. Yeah. But anyway, now I try to put my head down, try to push him a little bit, he crashed, so I will try in the last one, me and Bruno, see what happened. We are all fast, so and the track is tight and small, so we will try in the last one, we see what happened.
The pressure from Bruno was immense. He kept getting closer and closer, then he'd make a few mistakes and then you'd pull away. Did you feel him coming?
Yeah, for sure, because I can see his car, so we are super close and I know Bruno very well, so will be a good fight in the last one.
Bruno can't finish worse than second now, so it's just you and him.
Yeah.
It's going to be 10 minutes.
We will try for sure.
Okay, well, good luck.
1/8 Electric Off-Road Buggy Championships 2025 from the ATV Valladolid circuit for RC Racing TV. My name is Nick Damon, and we have the fabulous Kieran on the camera. And Matt's next to me, and somewhere Will is hiding his head as we come down. And the first corner already, Canas is breaking away. Now, this doesn't really affect anything. Canas can win this if Ongaro comes second. Oh, and that Bruno's rolled out. So Bruno's already made a big mistake, and now this is getting a little bit more interesting because it kind of means that Bruno has to rely on other things going his way Not quite sure where he came across the line. It says 5, but I think he is 5. He's 5, but that's going to be difficult. So, Canas and Ongaro winning it. Ongaro will still, with second place, take, as I understand it, will take the championship. Mattia Polito in third, Ronnefalk in fourth, Coelho in fifth, Orlowski in fifth. So it's not been a great start for Mohamed either. He's down in 13th. So I suppose we could probably say his dream is formally, officially over. Now, the only thing that Coelho can do now in the orange machine you're going to see in a second is throw caution to the wind completely, which he's done because he's down in 11th. So I think this one is already unravelled into a 2-horse race, well actually a 3-horse race, because Mattia Polito could take away the European Championship from his friend. Because if Polito gets ahead of Ongaro, and those 2 yellow and blue ones, the second one that's Mattia Polito, then that will see Ongaro not make the championship. But who knows? Then behind them is Ronnefalk. I'm pretty sure Ronnefalk would love to be a spoiler. The fact is that Canas is out front, and it just doesn't matter as far as the overall winner is concerned. It matters to Canas. I think if Canas wins this, he may well come second overall. But there's so many ifs and buts. No, we don't want Canas. We want to look at the 3 behind him. He's just not important in this at all. It's not often you say Canas is not important, but he's not important in this. So it's Canas, and there's a roll there. I think. Yeah. So it's now almost Mattia Polito rolled slightly. I'm not sure if Ronnefalk was going to put past him. But Ronnefalk in 4th. Coelho's down in 9th. And if you look at it, for some reason, Ongaro's had a timing glitch. There's a few timing glitches knocking about, and he's not been scored in second. But Ongaro's still second. There he goes, pinging up there. There's just a couple of timing glitches at the end of the day. Oh, that was a good move by Ronnefalk. Almost got himself in front of Polito. 7.5 minutes to go. So it's Polito, Ronnefalk. They are closing back up again. The lead is 1.8 seconds for Canas. But it's really what happens with Ongaro that's going to affect the destination of the European Championship. At the moment, he isn't really breaking away from Polito. And Polito isn't breaking away from Ronnefalk. So it's really now that all Bruno can do is just wish that one of those 2 drivers has an inspired run and can get past Ongaro. Or perhaps even Ronnefalk can get past. Ronnefalk has had speed throughout this entire event, but he's just not managed to put together a whole run. Qualified, I think, 6th, and he really should have been perhaps 3rd on the grid. But 2 of his best runs actually had 3 or 4 second errors in them, which is several points in how close the racers were. Polito effectively getting quite close now to Ongaro. It's part of a second half gap. Pulling away quite easily is Canas. I'm pretty sure Ongaro is not a maximum attack. Down in 8th now is Coelho. Then Mohamed in 11th. But these are the 3 that matter. Don't forget, Canas is leading, but he can't win the championship. The only person to win the championship in this picture is Ongaro. There's 2 other people who could win it. They're out of the picture, but Coelho's not out of the championship. 6 minutes to go. A little wobble there for Ongaro. Looks like they've just slightly dropped Ronnefalk as well. So it's Polito. Does Polito want to take the championship chance away from Ronnefalk? Don't kid yourself that they don't all know the exact situation, all know the permutations of what they have to do and what they have to achieve to make it happen. So Coelho, who kind of took himself out of contention at the end of the first lap with a roll, trying to get back, but he's got the same problem that everyone else has. Once you fall back, you just can't overtake people. And it's looking quite tricky. So, at the moment, if it was to stop now, Ongaro would be champion, Bruno would be second, and Juan Carlos Canas would be third. And in fairness, Polito is being slightly dropped by Ongaro. Canas is dropping Ongaro. Ongaro is dropping Polito. Polito's dropping Ronnefalk. Coelho moves up to 7, but he's 12 seconds off the lead. And there hasn't been that sort of difference in speed the whole time. So 5 to go. Fastest lap that we've seen so far is a 23.978 from Juan Carlos Canas, but putting down in style, proving his point, but it's a race too late to prove your point. Here they all go. Ronnefalk looking to get... This is the 3rd and 4th battle. Ronnefalk really looking to try and get past Polito. And kind of settling down. Polito's just about 1.6 seconds behind Ongaro. Ronnefalk, as you can see, 1.1 back. There's 4 minutes 20 to go. The tension must be pretty high on it because it's one mistake by Ongaro. The rollout we saw from Canas in heat 2 or leg 2, and he's going to fall behind Polito and possibly fall behind Ronnefalk as well, and more importantly fall behind Coelho in the championship standings. Canas really putting down the power at this one, 3.5 seconds ahead. Ongaro, obviously one of the most intelligent racers in the world, probably is running the speed he wants to run. Ronnefalk doesn't really have much answer to it. And from the first 2 legs, realistically, no one seemed to have a particular answer to the pace of those top 3. Coelho now in 7, Ben Mohamed in 8, Boots in 9, and Orlowski in 5. So there's no real chance of Coelho getting through. Coelho's had another incident, to be honest, so Coelho is literally just relying on everyone else. But he's got a first and second. He's banked the points. He's banked the results. Coelho's done the job, and the worst case scenario for him is second. So it's the worst case for Bruno for second. It's the best case for first. At the moment, that's not what he's getting because the man in the outside of the pitch, move forward to Ongaro, the man in this part of the picture, Davide Ongaro, he is getting he'll be getting the accolades, the silver trophy and everything else, and he'll be retaining his European Championship if it stays like this, based on 1 second difference in the races they won in leg 1 and leg 2. So, the associated with the hobby wing power of Davide Ongaro. I'm not ignoring the fact that Juan Carlos Canas is leading this, but it just isn't important. We will take, if we can, we'll do this. Let's take a couple of laps with JCC. Just move across. He's just ahead. That's it. We'll take a couple of laps with JC. It's only fair, but we won't probably take him over the line because it's more important to get Ongaro over the line. But this is all the result of actually a terrible second leg. It's not the result of the incident in leg 1 with Ongaro. It's just because the second leg just went away from him. You know, let's be honest, Canas doesn't have bad races, and then he had one. Just a really bad race at the wrong moment. You have a bad qualifying run, you've got other runs to make up for it. A bad race, and at that point he couldn't make up for it. Not enough to win, maybe enough to be on the podium. So the SWORKz machine of Juan Carlos Canas, as the ambulance waits to save us all from fainting from the excitement in the background, carries on going. He's managed to put out a nice 3.8 second lead, 1 minute 32 seconds to go of the European Championship. Oh, the European Championship here. Obviously, if he made a big mistake and Ongaro wins, all the countbacks don't matter. Coelho in 9th now, Ben Mohamed up to 7th. So good recovery from Ben Mohamed. He was plumb last earlier. Let's pick up Ongaro again. Oh, what's going on there? That was Ronnefalk landing on top of Polito. There's Ongaro running through with a minute to go. So 1 minute from the European Championship being retained, another European Championship added to his name. Still hasn't won the Nitro Euros, obviously, but let's not mention that too much. There he goes. 45 seconds to go, so it's going to be a couple of laps. Maybe this one and 2 more. Let's see what Canas goes over on. I think it is going to be 2 more, actually. 2 more laps to the championship for Ongaro. One mistake to not having the championship. They managed to pull up a big lead now on Polito, about 3.5, 4 seconds. So the main point of this final actually was that rollout which we saw Coelho make on lap 1, which took the pressure off. Canas has done what I'm sure he wished he'd done the previous 2 heats. And they're going to get one final lap. Canas is final up. So this is the last lap of the championship. This is the last lap of the champion. Keep it 4 wheels down, and Davide Ongaro, oh dear, keep it 4 wheels down, and Davide Ongaro will take the 2025 championship, subject to scrutineering, of course. And here he goes. Ongaro looking to take the European Championship in 1/8 E-Buggy. He's going to retain it. It's going to be another European Championship for Ongaro. He's made 2 minor mistakes. It doesn't matter. Davide Ongaro is your European champion. Fantastic result. Great result for Canas as well in that last race. Fought back well from everything. And we're going to try and talk to our people there. Davide, congratulations. You won it. It was a difficult 3 legs. That last one, were you pushing or were you just going at your own pace?
No, I was like, I just tried to stay in front of Bruno, which was my goal in the third main. I saw Juan Carlos was a bit quicker because he was on used tired and he has to make a first place to finish in the podium. And yeah, I tried to save my race and try to do well in the last one because of the first one, which was not so good.
Another European championship, sorry. Still not the big one though.
Yeah, I mean, I will try this year for sure in Portugal. I just want to apologize with Juan Carlos for the first main, but it wasn't on purpose. He was on two-wheel, and I tried to brake as soon as I can, and my car was like super fast into his car. But at least I take my penalty. I finished P11, so we had the chance to fight in the second and third main. So yeah, here we are.
Great stuff. Congratulations. Another European champion. Well done.
You guys, thank you.
And another awkward handshake as well. Thank you.
I want to say thank you for the help to everyone. Tom, my dad here, team associated, Adrian Bertin helping me with the shock package, my mom, Tom, my girlfriend, everyone, and you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for you guys. Cheers, man. Davide Ongaro. Sorry, Davide Ongaro, your European champion.